Hello, my dear children. Do you like sweet honey? We are going to start the new unit, Unit 15, Sweet Honey. Can we check the previous knowledge? Flowers produce nectar and pollen grains. Insects visit flowers to suck nectar and collect pollen. Butterflies and bees transfer the pollen grain from flowers. Pollen grains are yellow in color. Honey is very tasty to drink. I hope you know about these points we already discussed in the previous class. Can we start the new chapter by reading the story here? Honeybees and Insects. Has Ruby bee come back? Asked Queen bee. My baby bees are very hungry. Now they are sleeping. When could they get some nectar? Now there are no trees or flowers around us, Mom. All trees have been cut last week, said one worker bee. A road is going to be made through our forest. We have to find out some other place to live in, said the queen bee. But where? What do you think? Who are making road through the forest? There is a space for writing the answer. Can you write the answer there? Who are making road through the forest? You write your answer there. Is it right to make a road through the forest? Discuss with your friends. So you cannot discuss now. So you can discuss with your parents and write there. Who will suffer by this? Is it right to make a road through the forest? If no is your answer or yes is your answer, please write a reason. Okay, who will suffer by this? Yes, we are getting road means it is easy for transportation or for traveling. But who will suffer by this in future? Suddenly, Ruby bee came back to the hive. She said, I found. Really? Where? Asked other bees. Ruby bee started to perform a dance. All bees started at her. When her dance finished, Motu bee said, hurry up, let's go there. See, here the Ruby bee has performed a dance. From the dance, that bee has informed something to their family members. That means you know that honeybees are the social insects. So they all are living in a colony. So one of the bee is performed a dance and informed something to other honeybees. Okay, and after her dance, another honeybee, the name of the honeybee here is written Motu bee. Okay, Motu bee said, hurry up, let's go there. Okay, so can you guess where the bees are going? Where they will be going? They are going to visit the flowers. Okay, you can write your answer in your own sentence. Okay, they are going to get nectar from the flowers. Okay, look at the next question. When they come back with nectar, so after that they got nectar. Who will feed the baby bees? Okay, so there will be baby bees in the beehive. Beehive is the home of the honeybee. Small beehives will be there. Small baby bees will be there in the hive. So who will feed the baby bees? In every beehive, there will be three types of honeybee: a queen, worker, and drone. In all beehives, there will be one queen who lays egg. Without that queen, honeybees cannot survive. So, a queen honeybee is laying eggs. There will be one queen bee in every beehive. The next type of bee is worker bees. Worker bees are very hardworking bees, and worker bees are females but cannot lay eggs. Some worker bees go out to search flowers with nectar. When a bee finds out flowers, it performs a special kind of dance, which will convey the distance and directions of the source of nectar from the hive. So, worker bee is a hard-working bee in the beehive. There will be many worker bees, and worker bees collect nectar and pollen and feed the small ones. Listen here, the worker bees are feeding the small ones and store the honey in the combs. Okay, so worker bees are very hardworking bees. So, what are their function? They will collect nectar and pollen from the flowers and they feed the small ones and store honey in the combs, and they also protect the inmates of hives from enemies and make and clean the combs. There will be a few male bees in a hive. These are called drone. So drones are not having more works. It will help the queen bee to lay eggs. How many eggs does a queen bee lay per day? It is around 2000 eggs. See, it is around 2000 eggs it lay per day. All of them hatch and become members of the family. Next subheading, pollination by insects. You know what you mean by pollination. So, insects are helping for pollination. One of the insect is honeybee. While honeybees collect nectar, they will help the flowers in return. How? Yes, honeybees are getting nectar from the flower, but it is also helping the flower in another process. It is called pollination. Do you know how? How the honeybees are helping or how the insects are helping for pollination? You write in your own words, okay? How the insects are helping for pollination. How do the bees pollinate a flower? When a bee visits a flower, pollen grains stick to the body parts of the bees. When they visit another flower, these pollen fall on the stigma of the flower. So, you know the process. This is called pollination. You have seen that bees participate in the pollination of flowers. What about butterflies? You know that butterflies are also pollinating the flowers. They are also going to flowers to get the nectar. So unknowingly butterflies are also helping for pollination. Can you list out more animals who help in pollination? There are more space to write the examples. Butterflies are there. Some more you can guess and write. Okay. The agents for pollination. Animals which are helping for pollination. In the last class, we have discussed many agents. Okay. So you have to identify the animals or birds which are helping for pollination. How do you feel the chocolate sweet? The taste of the chocolate is given by cocoa seed. You know that flowers are the reproductive parts of a plant, and flowers produce fruits. Look at these cocoa flowers. The cocoa flower is very small. The bees and butterflies cannot enter the flowers. So, small insects called midges enter the flower and pollinate the flower. You can observe that there are specific insects in some flowers as pollinators. Look at this flower. Who is acting as a pollinator? Ants. Ants are acting as a pollinator here. So there are many pollinators.